Anthony M. Elmore, President and Founder of the Proud Black Buddhist World Association, here today to bring you another exciting Black Buddhist Lectures. We at the Proud Black Buddhist World Association are not only the Black Buddhist force in America, we are the Black Buddhist force in the world, and we are the only Black Buddhist organization in the world that do not have Asian Buddhist masters. When we learned that the Asians extricated all Black history, culture, and language from the Buddhist teachings, we extricated them out as our teachers. Now, today we're going to bring an exciting Buddhist lecture. My lecture today is how whites changed Black Buddhism to white Christianity. See, in the Bible, the city of Meroe was called the land of Cush, and the land of Cush, or the Meroites, were Buddhists. Their descendants were actually directly related to Buddha, who later became known as Jesus Christ. See, whites changed Jews from Judah and made the white Brahman Abraham to be the father of the Jews. See, throughout history, or throughout India, the Brahmins and the Buddhists had wars throughout time. Eventually the Brahmins won out, and they tell the story of Brahma. See, science clearly connects Buddhism with Western culture. See, when Buddhism moved into Greece, there emerged a new culture called Greco-Buddhism, which is a blend of Buddhism and Greek culture, which came to be known today as Hellenism. See, from Buddhism emerged the king and high priest of Judea by the name of Alexander Judaeus. You see, I can take you to the archaeological and the anthropological, and I can take you to the literary science, and I can actually take you to Buddhism in the city of Judea. You see, because we have evidence of this. See, there was a king who was the king of Judea. His name was Alexander Judaeus, and he was the Hebrew king of Judea. Now, Alexander Judea practiced Buddhism. They lived in a compound. They lived like Buddhists. They called them the Therapeutae, or they were actually the Theravada Buddhists. They lived in a compound. They lived together. They ate certain foods. They practiced together. They were actually literally Buddhists. Now, they were a group of Hebrews, or Jewish people. They called themselves the Essenes. Now, what you have to understand is that the Essenes were the Buddhists. Now, what happened was, there's another group who were the Brahmins. They were the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Now, what happened was, when Alexander Judaeus ruled Judea, they got into the big fight with the Brahmins, or the Pharisees, and they brought a whole army, and they killed those Buddhists. And what happened, you never heard no more about the Essenes until about 1945, because all of their doctrines was written down, and they found them. They found these scrolls of the Essenes and all the doctrines of the Essenes about 1945 near a cave near the Dead Sea. And they called these teachings the Dead Sea Scrolls. So that's how we can bring Judaism and Buddhism together. Now, how did we know that Alexander Judaeus was a Buddhist? Because he printed the Buddhist coins with the eightfold symbol of the Buddhist, the Buddha. So we can show you this sign, we can show you the coins, because Alexander Janelle was a Buddhist. Now, in order to understand Buddhism, what the Brahmans did, they got rid of the Buddhists by changing the history. So, like in India, what they did was they came up with a theory called the Aryan invasion theory, and they changed the dates of whites coming in, and they changed everything, and they told this story about whites coming in and subjugating the black people. This is a false theory called the Aryan invasion theory. Now, this is what they did in India. Now, in the West, what they did in the West, they came up with the story of the Brahman or Abraham, and they got rid of the Buddhists. That's how they got rid of the Buddhists, by bringing in Abraham. Now, when you look at the story of Abraham or the Hebrew Bible, this thing does not match archaeology, anthropology, literary science, genetic science. There's no way in the world that the tribe of Buddha could be the tribe of Brahman Persian, because they are not the same people. Now, let us go into world history around 100 BC. This would make Buddhism over 500 years. Now, the place we know as Italy was all black people who ruled Italy. They were called the Etruscans. Now, the black Etruscans were Buddhists prior to whites moving into Italy. See, it was not until 27 BC that the Roman Empire emerged based on the foundation of the black Etruscans. See, when Rome was established in Ceylon, now known today as Sri Lanka, they had the Fourth Buddhist Council, where they wrote down the Buddhist teachings in a language called Pali, and they wrote the Buddhist teachings in the largest volume of Buddhist writings of any religious works, 11 times larger than the Bible. This is called the Pali Canon. Now, one of the interesting things in the Pali Canon is, in the Pali Canon, you will find the writings or mention of the blind meal. Now, the blind meal were a prominent group of Marotis from Sudan, and it's mentioned in the Pali text. And we have the blind meal in African, who is in the front ranks of Buddhist texts. Now, let us go back in history when Alexander tried to conquer India. Now, he did not conquer India, but he did bring Buddhists into Greece, and these Buddhists were called Gymnosophists. You see the picture here of Alexander the Great with the Gymnosophists. These black Buddhists and the Buddhism came into Greece, and they created what is known as Greco-Buddhism, which is a blend of Buddhism and Greek culture, which is known today as Hellenism. See, Alexander the Great generals did not conquer India, but they did conquer Afghanistan, and Alexander's generals later became Buddhists, and they carved Buddhist statues in the mountains that lasted for decades, hundreds of years, until the Taliban blew those Buddhist statues up. See, as we mentioned earlier, the Buddhist religion changed in the Shaka era, and that the spirit of the Buddha changed, and that King Kanishka and Ashvaghosha created new Buddhism based on race, culture, and language, whereas they changed the Buddha from black to white. Not only did they change the Buddha from black to white, some years later, white people took 100% control of Buddhism. Now, we explained to you that Italy was all black people called the Etruscans. Now in Italy, there existed a sect of Buddhists called the Krishnas. Now, the Krishnas and the Buddhists had split up, and you got the Buddhas, one set of Buddhists, and you got the Krishnas. Now, before there was ever a name called Jesus Christ, they had the Christian religion already in Italy. They were not Christians, but they were Buddhists or Krishnas. Now, this is what I want you to do. All you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, is Google the Black Madonna. If you Google the Black Madonna, you will see a picture of the Black Madonna in Poland and Switzerland and Russia. Now, how is it that you got a black image of a black mama and a black baby among all these white people? The reason that you had that, because they were Krishnas and they were practicing the Buddhist religion of Krishna. Now, you see, this is what happened. In regards to black Buddhists, we would give you the line of demarcation as to where the black Buddhists and black Buddhism ends and where the New World religion begins. It is the new religions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam where black Buddhism and black Buddhism ends. See, it was at the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD where they destroyed black Buddhists and Buddhism and the white religion began. We have archaeological, anthropological, literary science, and genetic science that proves the first Jews to be the black Buddhist tribe of Judah from India. The way that white people got rid of the black Jews was via creating the white Jewish patriarch by the name of Abraham. See, there were two groups in history that hate each other and have years and years of horrible wars. The fight was between the Brahmans and the Buddhists. One of the ways the Brahmans got rid of the Buddha was making the Buddha a god in the Hindu pantheon. So how they got rid of the Buddha in India, they just made the Buddha one of the Hindu gods and they put him in the Hindu pantheon, so they made the Buddha subject to Brahma, who was the god, and then the Buddha was just a minor god. That's how they got rid of him in India. Now, when it came to Europe, the way they got rid of the Buddha and the way they got rid of Buddhists is that they integrated the Brahman teachings into the religion. So you had what is called the Old Testament, which is simply Brahman teachings, which come from Abraham. And then you got the New Testament, which is the teachings of the Buddha. But they changed the Buddha into the Sanskrit word Krishna, which means Christ in Sanskrit. So you had Jesus, Krishna, which later became known as Jesus Christ. Now, the way the white people got rid of Buddha in Europe was making the Buddha subordinate to God. And they pulled this off. The story of Jesus Christ is the story of Buddha. Just as they incorporated Buddha into the Hindu pantheon, they created the Bible, and they made God the Father and Jesus the Son. In order to pull this scheme off, they used a Brahman, the name of Abraham. The word Abraham means a Brahman. They changed the history of Abraham to make it look like he goes back to 2000 BC. If you go back to 2000 BC, you will not find white people on the world stage, dominant in the world stage of 2000 BC. See, Abraham, or Brahman, is the father of Judaism, and he was a Brahma in Persia. Now, the Buddhists were the Naga, who used the symbol of the snake. The Brahman vilified the snake, and they stole the Buddhist story of Genesis, which was the story of a man and a woman who had sex and multiplied the earth. We show you evidence of the Garden of Eden and Nubia carved in the cave in Africa. They have black or African Americans who call themselves Hebrew or Hebrew Israelites who have no idea of the correct Jewish history. The original Jews were the tribe of Judah and they were black. You can look at the tribe of Abraham or Persia and know that they were not the same tribe or people. What you have are black people who adopted the God of Abraham or the Persian and Brahma. This is what happened in India. See, the black Brahmins in India kicked out the black Buddhists. They brought in a white foreigner to subdue and fight their brothers, the black Buddhists. The whites or light skins became the Brahmins, and they created the caste system based on color, whereas the light skins were the Brahmins and the dark skins at the bottom. Those who did not accept the system, they were not in a caste, they were called Chandela or the outcast. In regard to Jews, because of the influence of the caste system, Jews became lighter. The Jews were never a single group of people. They separated into sects. See, Buddhist and Krishna, and you had Brahma and Persia. And you had Abraham and Brahma and Persia. See, because the God of Abraham is the God of the Brahmins who practiced the caste system, and the caste system was racist. The God of Buddha and Buddhist is the Lotus Sutra. Namu means to awaken or give reverence. Myo means God, or mysterious, unfathomable, incomprehensible, or cause. Ho means life's manifestations or the law, or the 3,000 realms of effects. The word Ren is a symbol for the lotus, or it means cause or show flowers and seeds. Gay means effects or manifestations, and Renge is a single law of cause and effect. The word Kyo means overcoming delusion, or it means teachings, all the teachings of the universe. We awaken to the God, or the incomprehensible law of cause and effect teachings that dispel delusion. I am Anthony L. Elmore, President and Founder of the Proud Black Buddhist World Association.
I found myself a brand new mission to help others make a big decision. Read to you as no religion. It's not the religion that you expect. It's all about the law of cause and effect. Devotion to the middle of the call of teaching. We do a lot of wisdom preaching. No more life with any drama. We change the words and change our karma.